I'm joined now by Frank Gazu of the Gay and Lesbian Alliance of South Africa. As you'll recall, a lifeless body of a 28-year-old lesbian woman was found dumped in a field in KwaMakhutha. Allegedly, her throat was slit and her abdomen was slit. She was also raped and left there naked. Now, this has brought into sharp focus the murder and the attacks of gay and lesbian bodies here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. You remember the brutal murder of Spamandla Khoza during lockdown. But now Frank Gazu is going to be telling us more about their experiences. So thank you very much for your time, for joining us. Just tell us firstly your reaction after the news of the murder of Anele Bhengu.
Thank you so much. We are outraged. We are deeply shocked at the rate of which these hate crimes are spiking and are getting out of control, particularly in this province. We have witnessed not less than 8 since the lockdown started. It is outrageous. It is shocking. It is disgraceful that we are part of such a society, and in particular part of such a province. We are scared and we are astonished by the fact that the leadership of this province is found unwanting on such issues. To them, it's a mere box-ticking exercise, whereas to us, it is our livelihoods, it is our lives, and our lives are at risk, and our lives are costed every day.
You are touching there on the leadership of the province. What is their reaction when you raise these kind of issues with them?
Well, like I said, to them it's a mere box-ticking exercise, because as you probably might be aware that June is Pride Month internationally, and also in South Africa, June is Youth Month. If our government and our leadership was serious about emancipating and actually raising awareness about the existence of members of the LGBT community in this province in particular, they'd be probably be actively involved in programs that are doing so, and be with us in when such things happen, such as being with us in court when we are protesting, and for instance Spamandla Khoza, and now recently Anele Bhengu-who, who was murdered. So they are found unwanting, really, and it renders a question whether or not are we perhaps less human, are we perhaps are we part of this society? Who is meant to protect us if they can't protect us? It is their obligations, it is the constitutional right for us to coexist in this country, and it is the government's obligation. We're not merely requesting something that, it is something that they're meant to be doing, but they're not.
The thing about these homophobic attacks, they are very violent. Bodies are found with some very gruesome things having been done to them. I don't know if it's fair to ask you this question, but what do you think threatens people so much about queer bodies?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't know how to answer that question, but to the best of my ability, I actually don't know what threatens them. I don't want to speculate and say heteros are like this or like that. I don't know. I do not know the underlying cause. We can speculate because each case is different and has a different perspective. So I'm not going to be here and try to act like a sangoma, but I don't know. But what I do know, however, that it is inhumane, it is unfair, it is unjust. And for us as a country that has actually, we are at the forefront in terms of legislation that actively recognizes us. But at the same time, in terms of policies, in terms of implementation of such things, we are far behind. And you've seen what is happening throughout of Africa, Ghana, Morocco, Nigeria, where the LGBT people, it's difficult for them. So for us, not that it should be easy, but in fact it should be. It should be a way of life. They should be accepting, because we are pushing for a non-gender conforming society. Because that is what society should be. People should be allowed to define themselves. The state must not hold the power to define people, and the communities can't do that as well. We need to be allowed to define who we are and how we choose to identify ourselves.
Thank you very much for that.
Sure, thank you.
Well, there you have it. That was Frank Gazu of Glasa here in Gazu of Glasa here in the province. Basically just telling us that they are now living in fear, because it seems like there's a war that is being waged on queer bodies, counting over 8 bodies, that's people that were attacked and murdered during lockdown alone. And also mentioning that June is Pride Month, International Pride Month, a month where they're supposed to be celebrating their humanity and their existence, but these things are happening. Also saying that, well, when they raise these issues with government, they're falling on deaf ears. Back to you in studio.